Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what lessons are about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Lee Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. As always, I want to let you know that we have all kinds of bonus episodes on our Patreon. You can join at bit.ly/lespatreon to get access to all 14 of our most recent bonus Patreon episodes.
We also want to remind you we are going to be taking our next Let's Hang Out trip. We are going to Costa Rica in May. We have so much fun stuff planned. We are so excited for our retreat-style week in a Costa Rican national park where we're going to be doing a spa day and hot springs and a horseback ride up to a waterfall, all sorts of fun stuff. So if you want to join, you can get tickets at bit.ly/lesdo Costa Rica. In the Greater Les universe, we just wanted to take an opportunity to shout out a real battle of the giants with the National Women's Soccer League finals. I think by the time this episode comes out, this possibly will have already happened. I need to double check the dates of everything. But either way, Allie Krieger, Megan Rapinoe, head-to-head for one final showdown. We're very excited. All of you soccer gays having the time of your lives right now.
Love it. Also want to shout out another podcast, one of our favorites. Season 2 of Cruising Podcast just came out this week. We had them on the show for Should Have Been Gay on Cheers. You should definitely check out season 1 and 2 of the podcast if you haven't listened yet. They took a road trip to all of the lesbian bars in the country for season 1. Season 2, they're hitting a few new ones, which is really exciting. It's a super cool project, and I love a good lesbian bar, so I'm all for this show.
We also wanted to shout out some news from Down Under. That's the best
Great
Australian
accent
you can get out of me. Thank you. So this news out of Australia that there was a Sydney Catholic school that overturned their same-sex prom ban. So we love a real-life prom, right? Like the prom story. So Catholic school they had banned bringing like a same-sex date to their prom. They had a literal petition, right? Like kids put together a petition to complain about the ban. And yeah, they turned it around. They said, okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. We'll do away with this in the year of our Lord 2023, said this Catholic school. And I think that's great. So good for, wait, hold on. I'm going to look up the name of the school. Good for you, St. Ursula's.
Poor unfortunate souls. That's my St. Ursula.
There you go. That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee, and welcome to our 115th installment of Should Have Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, oh God, I hope you're ready for this, Ellie. Okay. Hey, sister, go, sister. Magic pants on, faux sisters.
I do like your use of the word faux.
Faux sisters.
Faux sisters.
You're welcome. That's a really thought through rhyme for you, okay?
That was perfect. But how?
I'm trying so hard to find a song about sisters.
How can they fit
me.
that ass? It's a miracle.
Oh no. Speaking of miracles, we have such a special guest for tonight.
Yes, truly a miracle.
Listen, it is the reunion that everyone has been asking for, that we have been asking for. We are joined once again by friend of the pod. I feel like we never get to say that. Friend of the pod, former guest, comedian, writer, Brooklyn creative, Colette McIntyre is back, everyone.
Oh my God, hi. So good to be back. And I think we need to address the elephant in the room, or the golden flaxen hair.
Yes.
Because we love nothing more than a visual
visual gag.
Visual gag on a podcast. Let's go.
I really like to take the listeners on a journey. I like to challenge them. So listeners, I am in my Bridget cosplay, but I am currently wearing a blonde wig. I don't own a soccer jersey, so I'm wearing mesh. I thought, that's sports, right?
She would.
And just
that's a sport. Mesh is like a sport thing.
Yeah, Olympic. I'm wearing Olympic mesh. And yeah, I look exactly like a 15-year-old girl. I imagine you would agree.
Oh, completely.
Ready to hit the fields.
I see you at soccer camp.
Thank you.
I see you canoodling with an inappropriate older man. You know,
Well, two things. One, I have never seen hair described like how Bridget's hair is described in this novel. Like, is Bridget a sex Rapunzel? I don't. As soon as she releases her ponytail, men are rock hard.
They lose it.
Happening?
To be fair, I feel like women do too.
Right? Okay, fair.
So,
but I'm just like, is this what it is to have straight blonde hair all of the time?
Have you worn this like all day? I want it to be like go out and experience the world, you know?
Yeah, I really wanted to connect. I wanted to get into character. I'm very method. So I did compete in a few high school soccer games.
Hot. Yes, as you should.
I tried to fuck a college sophomore.
Very never been kissed of you.
Yeah, he said, please, ma'am, get away from me. Also, your hair is falling off your head.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
It's just like the way it's in the book, her hair is able to captivate anyone near her. I'm like, I was imagining like, you know, like Medusa's hair, but instead of snakes, just like her hair's filled with nipples and clits, just undulating.
Yep.
Is that not how Medusa's hair was?
Right. You know, the Greeks were
they
horny.
Were, you know.
They really were.
Yeah. I think in many Greek paintings, one could make the argument. Anyways, for anyone who hasn't caught on yet, we're so obviously today discussing the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I think that was the clearest segue that one could have.
When you hear soccer and Bridget and blonde, we're
there.
Medusa nipple hair, just 10 out of 10. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, in keeping with our ongoing theme this season, we will be discussing the books, not the movies. Although we've already made the offer to come back and do the movie whenever that is possible. You know, open invite, Colette, open invite.
I'm here. I'm talking about we'll talk about Amber Blake later. They don't exist.
Later.
Delete them from your mind.
Yeah. Never heard of them. We are here to talk about.
They're not here.
We're here to talk about the book. As we know, I have no IMDb synopsis for the book series. I did find a quick blurb, like a back of the book blurb, sort of, for anyone unfamiliar with the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Here's the description, and then we will give our gay synopses, okay? It follows the adventures of four best friends, Lena Caligaris, Tibby Rollins, Bridget Vreeland, and Carmen Lowell, who will be spending their first summer apart when a magical pair of genes comes into their lives, turning their summer upside down.
Oh, shocking to me to learn that they have last names. News to me.
I also feel like it really gives the pants like a lot of agency in this synopsis.
Personhood for the pants.
The pants are the most important part of this, for sure.
This pants turn their summer upside down, which fair.
And turn each other upside down.
Oh.
Oh.
Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
With their little witch seances. Let's dive in to our gay synopsis of this book because we know
hard.
it's gay. It's really not
hard.
difficult. It really is not. Colette, why don't you kick us off since this was your suggestion?
Yeah, you know, when the prompt was thinking about like books, right, that could have been gay, this one really bubbled right to the surface, right? Because when you hear the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, if you don't think a bunch of lesbians like sending a pair of cargo shorts across the country to each other. Okay, so for my gay synopsis, I feel like we probably have done all similar work, but it starts as such. A young adult novel that takes every baby queer's dream of getting into their friend's pants and makes it incredibly literal. Watch as a group of 4 friends does everything in their power, from throwing a rock through a glass window to starting a UFC match between 2 grandpas to hanging out every day with a straight up dying child just to avoid speaking to a member of the opposite sex. They all did that in order to not talk to men or boys.
I was holding it together so well.
It's crazy.
Until the dying child.
Until the dying child.
It is.
Oh,
she is.
God.
It is so true.
Some are loving, having a blast. More like summer secret lesbian loving, having your flight plans changed so you can hold your best friend in your arms as she cries, which is, in fact, gay second base. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, keeping denim gay, just like Rosie the Riveter watching. I don't know why. Okay, next time I'm on, besides talking about the movie of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, I want to talk World War II propaganda and how it all should have been gay.
Hot stuff.
Rosie the Riveter.
We're down. Listen, we're down.
Yeah. Yes,
but that's my synopsis.
Wow.
I don't know how to follow that. I feel like that is a perfect synopsis.
No, you can.
My synopsis was literally going to be, I didn't read this book. I feel like it couldn't have been gayer unless they were cargo pants, and you already covered that. Yeah. So
yep.
I have nothing to add.
It's okay,
like, that was amazing.
No, but it's affirming. We're just
that we're on the same page.
Each other. Yeah.
So Ellie, do you have a gay synopsis to share?
Yes, I do.
Do
all right,
it.
Here we
Hit
go.
us.
4 friends, all queer in different ways. One with an unhealthy obsession with older men. One who can't let go of her high school lovers. One who loves long distance. And one who reluctantly dates her male best friend to pretend she's not gay. Are held together by their love of gay fashion.
Hot. Yes.
That's
incredibly accurate.
That's
I love it.
So, I mean, I was on the same page with you in terms of like, they hate men.
Oh,
like they do not want to be with any, like all of these relationships they have with men are so ridiculously like tenuous and like
running away. Literally all of them at some point runs away. And
Bridget like literally has sex with this man and then falls into a deep depression.
Yeah. Okay. We need to start with Bridget.
Like what? Before we go into that though, we need to say our experiences with the books before that.
Okay, yes,
before
yes,
that.
please.
Mm-hmm. So Colette, what was your experience with the books? Have you read all of them? Did you watch the movies? Like, what was your experience? I know we're not talking about the movies, but you can say if you've seen.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, I think, we grew up in an unparalleled age of YA literature, right? Like, so I read these when they first came out, was shocked to discover in my research. Yeah, I did research for this show. My research that there is a 5th one that came out recently, but we could talk about that a little bit. But yeah, I did read them. I was engaged with the Sisterhood. I was, I would say a Tibby Sun, maybe a Carmen Rising. But I think about how this is peak YA lit, right? From like our youth. And like now kids are reading like Colleen Hoover novels that all their plot lines are like Danny fell in love with a mysterious upstairs neighbor who is actually just a pill-addicted gun, the same gun that killed her dad. Like that is what they're reading now. And then like the generation after us was reading all this post-apocalyptic dystopian trauma Hunger Games
like
shit.
Hunger Games vibes. Yeah.
And then like the YA books that we grew up with, It was just about like Denise got braces.
Yeah.
That's hard. Or like, wow, I have a mom. That's difficult. or I don't have a mom. That also is difficult.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
that was the whole plot. And so
I feel like it was very summer heavy also.
Always.
Do you know
Yes.
that's the thing. Like I was diving back into my memories of these books and I was like, it is like I feel like it would be like I'm on a beach. I'm like 11 years old and I'm like, oh my God, like I wish I could be like spending my summer in Greece and meet like a cute Greek boy.
I feel like it was a lot of like my summer job, my, like, oh no. Yeah. It's, a different era of YA
a
books.
simpler, more innocent time. And like, I don't know what happened. No wonder I feel like Gen Z is just so riddled with anxiety. Like all the books that they had were like war.
Yeah.
The year 3082.
Ours were like, I'm secretly a princess. Oh no.
Oh, yikes. And my hair's frizzy.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And then, I think I saw the first movie, not the second. So, like, I didn't remember. I read the first book in total for this podcast, really doing the work, going back to the text, really starting with the text. And then I was reminding myself of what happened in the rest of the series. I'm like, our girls
they went through it.
Oh.
They went through it. That's what I'm saying too. Like this woman, I'm like, sorry, wait, who's the author?
I have no idea.
What's the author's name again?
The author is Anne Brashers.
Yeah, okay.
Brashars?
I don't know how you say her name.
that.
But okay, Anne. Right?
Yeah.
The Anne.
Who is a listener of this podcast.
Yes, hello, Anne. And I don't know what was going on also in her brain. Because I feel like she was like, oh, they're going to have a cute love story, but then I'm going to rip them apart. And then Kostas is going to have a secret baby. But then, surprise, she lied. Like, she had like a telenovela
Wait, is
going
this like
on
the
in her...
Is this the other books in the series?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I need to catch up.
There's
we
some
can
like...
catch you up right now.
Okay.
There's some wild shit.
Well,
but...
here, wait, should I give my...
What's your experience, Lee?
Okay, my quick experience is you chose this, Colette, with not enough time for me to have read the books because I never read them. And so I did a deep dive on the Spark Notes to prep, and that's all I know. And
why is this book on Spark Notes? It's like, in my experience, Spark Notes is for like Frankenstein or A Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah.
Why is this?
No, and can I tell you what's great?
Are people assigning it for their English classes?
I have no idea, but can I tell you what's great? It not only includes like actually a very thorough like chapter by chapter breakdown of the plot, but every 2 chapter collection also includes like an analysis section where they dive into like, here's what we're learning about the themes and the characters and how this is represented. Like, oh, let's dive into like, what does it show that Lena only feels comfortable like when she's alone, and that's when she's skinny dipping is by herself, and is she ever going to open herself up to love like her grandfather did? And you're like, what wow,
I love that there were discussions.
It was amazing. So I feel exceedingly better prepared by Spark Notes than I expected to, but I still have only read the Spark Notes.
What did Spark Notes say that the pants represented? If I can.
Listen, Spark Notes did not get enough into what the pants represent personally, if you ask me. Decide. So I think that is up to our interpretation, and I have a feeling I know where we're gonna land.
We know. We know what they represent. Yeah.
Fun, just checking in.
I do have some really great quotes that I picked out of the Spark Notes analysis, though, that made me laugh a lot. We'll get there as we get through our discussion.
Cannot wait.
Ellie, what's your experience?
Honestly, pretty similar to Colette's. Like, I read all these books, not the 5th, which I also sort of discovered recently existed, and I feel like
just to tag onto that, we're saying like it recently came out. It came out in 2011.
That is more recent than should have been allowed.
I mean, sure, but like
when did the 4th book come out?
2007.
Y'all, do we know when
Still.
the first one came out? Baby, this book was published on 9/11/2000.
Was it? No.
I am not joking.
Oh, no.
First Sisterhood. So when I talk about post 9/11 America, I am talking about an America that has met Bridget.
Wow.
Everything
It
changed.
is a post-Costas America.
Wow. What? That is a hell of a day for a book release, man.
Yeah, and really.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're light and fluffy, but like Anne is a dark bitch. Like, I think she has some swirling dark shit in her soul. Like,
oh, Ellie, I thought you
she-
were gonna say she knew. She knew. What was
she knew. She was involved.
Yeah, it was president. It was an inside job from Anne.
From Anne.
Are we allowed to legally save this?
No.
No. I think we're about to get cut. We're about to get cut. From Anne Bra Shares. Also, bra shares. Sharing
bras, sharing pants.
Exactly.
Oh my God, the Sisterhood
And
should have been sharing the same
sharing
bra.
the bra.
That was the first edition.
The first
the
draft.
publishers shut it down.
Was like,
who
it's too
published
much.
this? We should use names while we're saying all of these very legally approved things.
Yeah, let's use all of their.
Yeah.
Let's find their email addresses.
Delacorte Press clearly shut down the bra sharing. To be fair, listen, there as much as like, wow, how could a pair of pants fit 4 different girls' bodies? Like a bra would be equally wild,
miraculous,
right?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine your friend is just like, oh, like, can I try your bra on? And you're like, sure, but like, you're a D cup and I am this, and then it just magically fits.
But I feel like in today, and now I'm going on a real but I feel like in today's bra culture, like I'm a person of titty of stature and experience, right? You can't see it again. These are all
visual gags.
I have a full bosom. So my bras are wheels and pulley systems, right? Like I have the architect who made the Brooklyn Bridge make my bras.
Sure.
Now everyone is engaging in a bralette culture, right? Like just a little scrap of fabric. So I feel like that could be the reboot of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yes. True, stretchy
traveling bralette.
Listen,
yes.
Can I tell you though, while we're on this tangent, as a person of minimal boob, what did you say? Stature. As a person of minimal boob stature, I have recently gotten on the bralette lifestyle, and like, there's no going back, man. There's no going back. You're not going. You're not going back.
I just don't wear a bra very often. Sometimes I forget a bra. Like I'm like, oh, I have to go to something that's like a little more public, and I'm like, I don't even know where my bra is.
You're like, I don't know no bra.
I literally couldn't find it.
Okay, the 3 of us are going to start a Sisterhood of the Traveling Bras, and
for the no bra.
For the no bras.
Exactly. If you're not wearing a bra, then you can't
it's going to be magical.
Around.
We need to come up with our Sisterhood rules. Okay.
Also, another bra tangent.
Yes.
My grandmother has like gigantic boobs.
And is she Greek, by the way? Does she just happen to be Greek?
No, I wish. No, just plain old Irish.
Regular
Irish. But gigantic boobs. And when I was younger, I would wear it as a hat. And I think that turned me gay.
There you go.
Her bra.
Your root is grandma's bra, is what we're saying. This is a new revelation on the podcast, Ellie, and I personally am here for it.
Yep. And I was so fascinated. I was like, wow, these are cool. You know?
I mean, there is nothing gayer than both like wearing a bra that isn't yours, but also turning it into a whimsical chapeau. Like just making it into a statement piece.
Exactly, like bra head fashion show.
Ellie's gonna show up at the next derby with a bra on her head, no bra on her boobs.
No bra on my body.
It's a look.
Yeah. Actually, no shirt at all. The bra's just a bra.
Yeah.
I'm here for that, actually.
Amazing.
I do love to be topless. All right. This is such a tangent, but I'm loving it. All right. So
they love it.
Let's dive in. Now we can talk about which characters should have been gay in the Sisterhood. And you want to start with Bridget? Like, let's just get the big one out of the way.
I mean, short answer is all of them, right? We all agree that all of them.
Yes.
Not a single one of these women or girlies is a straight girl.
No.
Which, is like very true, I think, to the young gay experience. When you like queerness finds each other in all ways. Like there's a reason why every boy that I kissed when I was 15 very quickly came out of the closet. Yeah, like, and we didn't know, but we knew. Yeah, Bridget. Every time like a chapter of hers came up, I wanted to put her under citizen's arrest. I was so distraught and upset. What was she doing?
She was going through a lot. She lost, right? She lost her mother.
Lost her mom.
And her father doesn't give her any attention. It's like she's got daddy issues, right? She's got daddy issues. She's got mommy issues. And she is consistently looking for validation in men because she's like, comp het, I have long blonde hair and men like me. So like, she doesn't actually care about the men she's pursuing. She just like enjoys the fact that they are into her.
Yeah, she
Like,
loves competition.
Yeah.
Like, what did you... As soon... She said more, or about, like, the chapter from her perspective said more about her fellow soccer player girlie's legs than it ever really did about, like, Eric's personality.
Well,
like,
literally know nothing about him. I could not tell you a thing about that man.
Also, can I comment from my SparkNotes description?
Please
From my careful reading of the text, I did notice that she shows up at soccer camp, which just first of all,
I know.
like gay. I mean, as though the soccer gays aren't going absolutely feral right now, right? Like it is soccer gay season in the queer community,
in pop culture. Yeah,
All right.
right?
Can we pretend that's why I chose this?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
You were
turn that
just
into-
ready. You were like, Allie Krieger, we got you, girl. We're gonna do
found your number.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, okay? For you. Dedicated to Allie.
Does Bridget grow up to be Ashlyn though? Is that
no?
the track
Take it
Bridget's
back.
getting on?
Take it back. Okay, so soccer camp, gay, and then the first thing she does when she gets there is to sleep on the beach with two other girls. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right.
So
That's absolutely
Because she misses her other girls.
I mean, I'm just saying, it feels like a little sus to me.
She's just used to the company of women. Like all they do is hang out the four of them.
Yes. And is there a more bearding story than to show up and be like, I miss my girls. Let me replace them with these other girls. Oh no, what does that mean about me? I'd better fuck the coach. And then to become like horrifically depressed about that.
Well, I mean, it's also like Bridget is giving like classic, loves a challenge, like an overachiever, wants to win. So when she's like, I'm gonna win heterosexuality. Like,
Yes.
I'm gonna do this.
Yes.
I'm throwing myself at it force. And what is straighter than like hooking up with the 19-year-old one male soccer coach? Or even a male soccer coach at a female soccer camp.
And why would you get a 19-year-old? Like,
right. Get a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
Like a 48-year-old dad who's just like tired and looks depleted.
Exactly. But yeah, they put this man in her path just to be like, now Bridget's going to have a heterosexual experience at an entirely girls' soccer camp. Like
that undoes her. You're so right, Allie. I didn't put together the fact that as soon as she goes through with it, she's like puts herself on bed rest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's unmoored. She's like, I've actually lost all sense of who I am.
The regret is so strong. And that's why, like, it really does. I think you're right. The like winning heterosexuality angle on Bridget feels so accurate, right? Because it's like, she's so single-minded. Like, she's so single-minded in like, I am going to hunt this man down, seduce him, sleep with him, right? Like, I'm in love with the immediate, like, I'm in love with him on like day 2? Like, I don't even know what. It's like, I've seen him once, I am in love with him and I must have him. And the like relentless pursuit and then immediate regret. It's just like, it feels, it's just a very relatable queer storyline, I think.
Yes.
Right. Like her having sex with Eric is like me after I've had like, you know, I finished the whole bag of like Smart Food white cheddar popcorn. Or like, you know, when you're like, I'm going to treat myself to the thing that like people are saying I can't have, but I'm an adult and I'm going to get it. And then immediately you're like, oh no.
And then you vomit everywhere.
Right, you're like, I feel disgusting. My insides are like making jazz music. Like, what's happening to me?
I also am pretty sure she says like, she's like, the thing that was supposed to make me feel complete, like makes me feel so devoid of whatever. And it's like, if she was actually a heterosexual human,
Sure.
like she would have like slept with this man and then been like, oh, I love you even more now. And now I want to be with you forever. But she's like, get the fuck away from me. Like,
he comes to see, like, they talk after on the beach, and he says some, like, Anne, we know you're listening.
Yeah.
I hope you were secretly writing Bridget to be a gay character, because otherwise, what were you thinking, girl? Because if we're supposed to want Eric, if we're supposed to ship Eric and Bridget, deranged, because he says the craziest things to her after they have sex. Like, he's like, I want to be able to worship you, but I can't do that right now. At one point, he's like, I realize you're a very young 16. Eric, hello? Oh,
she's been 16.
Young 16.
Yeah.
Eric's the John Mayer stand-in of this book, I see. Okay. It's great.
But is that like, he does have this like weird conversation with her where he is basically apologetic, but it also is essentially like, I would love you if you let me love you, and if you weren't also going into your junior year.
Yeah,
of
like
high school.
in a few years when you're ready. Gross.
Well,
Gross.
and that's the thing about like the rest of the books is that is
I know.
the ship.
I know.
No,
That is Bridget's.
unacceptable.
Yes.
That is Bridget's relationship arc. Is this fucking man?
No.
Yeah.
Like, really? But also to play on the gay part of that, she's like, all right, I guess this first man that I really,
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
only man I've
the
ever
only
slept
man
with.
I've ever slept with. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I guess I'll be with him. And then in the 5th book, I read this. Basically, she like gets pregnant with his baby and she decides that she actually hates him and she wants to leave him. She decides she wants to leave him before she figures out she's pregnant. Then after she figures out she's pregnant, she's like, I guess I'll get back with him and raise our baby together.
No.
How fucking depressing is that?
I hate everything about this storyline right now. No. I don't like it. This is giving me similar vibes to like Arya and Ezra in Pretty Little Liars. Like, just no. Just stop trying to make these storylines like the romantic ship.
To be fair, Ezra and Arya is a much more significant age gap.
I mean, is it though?
Yes. What do you mean?
Like,
he's a teacher.
Yeah, but she's
This
like
is a college student.
Well,
Oh well, don't. Ellie, I mean, don't forget. Bridget also makes out with a professor.
but she's like 15 in this, right? And he's
Yes.
like 19. I feel like the Pretty Little Liars girls, aren't they supposed to be like 16, 17, and he's like just graduated from college or something? It's not like that far off. It's just gross. It's all gross.
I mean, they're both gross.
All of it is gross.
It's
It's
not good.
It's not good.
No.
I don't know if this is supposed. It's giving like very. Oh, I guess I won't talk about. Cut this because I was gonna mention Love Actually, but I'm just like, it gives
No
this-
films, Colette.
Please, don't put me on the blacklist. But what's crazy is that, like, again, in continuing her narrative, Bridget goes to all these travels across this world to avoid this man, and then eventually they like meet back. They like find each other again at another soccer camp, and then the narrative is supposed to be like, "Wow, I can't believe." Like, I guess the universe wants us to be together because here we are again, and it's like, well, you both play soccer. And are very it's not crazy that you both meet each other again. How many soccer camps are there in the United States? And you could tell, like, it just felt like Bridget was so, like,
It's a sign.
down by the universe and was like, well, I guess you.
Exactly. She's like, I guess this man. The whole storyline is her like fighting. She's like, I gotta fight my feelings and like whatever, right? And then he has a girlfriend at the time too. Like every relationship this woman puts in these books is so problematic.
They're terrible.
Like, what is wrong with you, Anne?
Well, but you know what though? I do love, just because you started the episode talking about being like a sex Rapunzel, and I do enjoy that, at least in this book.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure their storyline is like if you played Tangled backwards, right? Where it's like it's like they hook up and then she climbs up in a tower and like locks herself in there forever to be like, never again.
Every relationship is like so like you're really just the author is like trying to jam it together, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's very square peg round hole. It's like there's so many hurdles and obstacles. And so the answer is clearly like, don't be with a man.
The compulsory
Exactly.
part of comp head is strong here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is so strong. Like, it's insane. And then with Bridget too, right? So we have Eric, we hate. Then the next one is she falls in love with this like older professor. I just feel like Bridget is like the definition of like, I'm just going to be in love with like unavailable men because then I never have to actually deal with it. Right? Like I never have to be in a real relationship with them, which I do not want. And just like completely age inappropriate because she's like, I don't want to date this man next to me.
Because it's not dating. It's like, I want
No.
to recruit a functioning parent. Like I am drafting sports. That's a sports reference.
That's a thing.
I am drafting a new family because mine is a flop.
Yeah.
That is so rough. But the thing is, if you make it gay, then she could have been drafting, and she does. I mean, to be fair, she has her chosen family. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is a chosen family story. But she just needs, like, the gay part about it would be if, like, by the end she realizes, like, I don't need a man. I just have my sisters, and that's it.
I mean, the gay part would have been them kissing.
Well, sure.
That would
be
the gay part.
They're like, so what do we do at this ritual again? And Bridget's like, I'm pretty sure we start by playing spin the bottle. Then we pass the pants around. Whoever catches the pants has to kiss.
Right. That's what I find hard to believe in these books, is that these four girls are constantly having like sneaky sleepovers or breaking into this like gym to hang out with each other in the wee hours of the night. And like at no point and they're kissing each other. Like I
Makes
found
no
a way. I hoodwinked so many of my friends into kissing me because I was like, oh well, we have to practice. We have to practice for boys. I remember one time in high school, we played Truth or Dare by like writing dares and putting them in a bowl. And then like someone would draw a dare. And so that way it was like anonymous and not targeted. And it was like, ooh, who knows what dare you're going to get? And someone pulled out a piece of paper and it said, make out with Colette. And she was like, Colette, this is in your handwriting? I was like, what?
What?
She was like, this is in your handwriting. One, there's only girls here too. Three, did you write this? And I was like, oh, what? Yes, you got to do it though. Them's the rules. Here's the dare.
The question is, did
You're
we
like,
do it?
we all made a vow. We made
Yes.
a pact when we started the game that we were going to do
Yep.
the dare. There
We are
it
a
is.
sisterhood of the Dare Bowl.
Yeah.
And
And you can't go back.
Up, baby.
Question. Which one of the sisters do you think is the most likely to have written that in the Dare Bowl?
Oh.
The most likely to have written it?
Yeah, to
If
have,
when they were
yeah,
hanging
like,
out?
yeah, to be like, make out with Bridget, make out with
Oh,
Lena,
it's
make
so
out with
good.
Libby.
Tibby. I'm going to vote Tibby. But here's what I will say. If I was going to write the loose interpretation of what you just described, though, I would for sure have, like we have to practice for boys. I would for sure have it be Lena, who's like, I don't know how to kiss. And Bridget would
Jump on it. She's like, I'll show you.
fucking fast. She would be like, oh my God, I will show you how. Let's get here. Please, nobody can be wearing the pants, so we should all take all of our pants off and I will teach you how to kiss. How to kiss for the boys.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a novel. That is a sisterhood.
Sisterhood, right
That is
there.
a real
Chosen family is built
sisterhood.
on saliva. That is the foundation. That's how I choose you. Yeah,
And
that is
shared
so-
pants. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That is so right. Because I think, obviously, I think we have to go Tibby next because she is, I think, the most obviously queer coded, right? But there's something Lena that I'm like, if Lena met the right kind of like soft butch lesbian, it would be game over for our girl.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, man, Lena's just waiting for Bridget. That's all.
Okay, I do want. Okay, at the end,
I'm just saying.
I want us to pair them. I
Yes.
want us to say who of the what are the two couples, or
Polycool
Couples,
kind of vibe.
right?
Yeah.
polycool,
Listen, all I'm saying, who flies down to bring Bridget home? That's all. That's all I'm saying.
True.
right? You're absolutely right.
Lena's like, I will buy a new plane ticket from Greece.
Europe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
From
rebook
Europe.
my flight from Greece to California.
I'll leave
to
my
come
sister,
get you. Yes. Yeah.
My 12-year-old sister. She's like throwing her sister's like checked luggage at her, just like bye. Text, or not even text, for their cell phones. They were just like, she's like, find a payphone, call mom and dad. I need to go tend to my friend.
Listen, obviously this is not a fandom I know anything about, but if there is not a slow burn fanfic out there with Lena and Bridget, I refuse to believe it. Someone out there, you have it, you know where it is, find it, send it to us. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like Ellie's looking for a
I think Ellie's googling right now.
I'm like that what's that TikTok trend where people are like typing really fast.
Yeah.
That's me, Sister with the Traveling Pants fanfic.
Okay, look, y'all. It looks like Ellie was hacking the mainframe with like how furious
I was
she
so into it.
She opened like Mozilla Firefox and Chrome. She had double dueling browsers. Okay,
Bing,
Tibby.
Google, Ask Jeeves.
Minority Report. There's so many screens. She's like, enhance, computer enhance. Okay, Tibby, baby Tibby. Tibby has the most, like all of them, as we talked about, have these like romantic, quote unquote, situations that are just hard to believe and hard to root for. But
even for Tibby herself, I think.
Tibby in the first book
point.
has the most vaguely constructed, clearly fake crush.
Yeah.
Right? It's some dude named Tucker with a soul patch. A soul patch in 2001.
Yeah.
Like, are you attracted to the lead singer of Nickelback, Tibby? What's happening?
Tibby's crush is like my crushes on boys in like middle school,
yes!
Where you're like, oh, this is the kid everyone has a crush. I have a crush on him too.
Yes, like when I was in middle school, I kept a photo of Jack White from the White Stripes in my locker. And listen, incredible guitarist, but straight up looks like a Halloween decoration come to life.
Not a heartthrob.
Oh no, he belongs on Goosebumps covers in my locker. But it's because I didn't know how to mend correctly, right? Like, in my broken brain, like Tibby's, I was like, oh yes, this man that we all love who sings like a ghost. We all horny, yes? And everyone's like, no.
To be fair, like Halloween is queer Christmas, so you were just like, okay, Halloween. I love Halloween. Yeah. And you didn't quite realize,
I was projecting. It was transference. Yes. I was like, there's something I love about this holiday.
Yeah. It's like Edward Scissorhands is hot. And you're like,
yes.
Is it? Is that?
All my friends were like,
But I do think I think
really
Tibby,
just the scissors.
in the real gay version of this story, Tibby comes out first, like for sure, right? Like Tibby is already, she's got the clothes, she's got the look down, right? She's in constantly like baggy clothes. She's got a nose ring. She's like halfway there.
She's an artist.
Yeah. Also, I feel like Tibby is the one who spends the most time. Like all of them a little bit are having this thing with like their parents, but I feel like Tibby's is the most obviously gay, where she's like, my parents used to have this like bohemian hippie lifestyle, and it was like simpler times, and we were all like, oh, free, and like life was different, and like then they changed.
Tibby's like dancing in a field naked.
Yes.
At, like a women's
and, like,
festival.
Tibby, I think, is the first one who's going to realize like, wow, my parents assimilated into like heteronormative straight culture, and like, and I hate them for it, right? Because I'm like a teenager, and that's how I'm dealing with my own burgeoning queerness. So like, she's for sure coming out first. That's not even a question.
Yeah, Tibby was born in a Birkenstock sandal. Like that is what caught her, and then her parents decided to, like buy a condominium and she is furious.
Yeah,
and like. In the series, Tibby goes to NYU, which is like good and fine, but we all know Tibby would have gone to Smith. If she came out like she should have, like Tibby would have been topless, making like weird experimental films about like menstruation. Tibby, and it's like crazy because in the first book, she's literally pushed constantly to describe why she likes this boy, and she cannot explain it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exist. Because it's not real.
Because it's not real at all.
No. And then her entire other storyline, which is her like longest arc of a relationship, right, is this man, Brian, which to be fair, Brian seems like a sweet man.
Okay,
Great.
he does seem like a sweet man. But if you were gonna come up with like a beard man, if you were gonna like invent a not important man character to put in a book, wouldn't you name that character Brian McBrien? Like,
they're like, and Tibby should have a boyfriend. What will his name be?
Like that's so blatant. That's so it's over the top bad to name him that. I'm sorry. It's too much.
Yeah, it is clear that like in the book his name is just like X or to fill in later. and never came back to it. And then it's some public, like, you know, her editor was like, "And you gotta
name this dude."
And she's like, fuck, what are boys called?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know.
It's insane. The disrespect of calling this man. And then we have to see him in multiple novels.
It is the most white bread name.
Like, a caricature of a man, too, of like, oh, he's a nerd. He plays this video game and that's his whole life and blah, blah. Like, he has no other thing about his personality. It's like they're friends and then he's like, I love you. And she's like, no. And then she's like, I guess. Like,
yes.
It's like the most, why is everyone?
Wow, I ship it already.
Yeah,
it is. It's literally like, this is my best friend. And like, oh, I don't want to ruin our friendship. But like, no, you have never found him attractive.
Right. It's like, other than Bridget, the three other girlianas in this book are all waterboarded into liking men. Like, they are just, it erodes at them. That's like me shipping like wind in a sand dune. Like, it is just, they are just worn down into eventually being like, I guess that's love. And it's like, no, it's not. Just because he's showing up, that doesn't mean that you actually have to date that person.
I'm telling you, these types of books, movies, storylines, like, this is why this is how you get later in life lesbians, basically. Like, this is why, is because the lowered expectations that are
of heteronormative relationships,
that are in our media, impressed on young teenage girls who are just like force-fed, this is what love looks like. It's tepid, mild disinterest and persistence. Yes. And you're like, is it though? Is it really?
It took me a while to warm up to him, or you literally never wanted to be with him. And another thing, majority of these girls, when they have sex for the first time, they freak the fuck out. Tibby also does. She has sex with Brian for the first time.
Sorry, Brian McBrien. Can we just make sure we use his full name every time? Because it's just...
Brian McBrien.
Masculine. It's a totem of masculinity, and we need to repeat it.
He is a man's man. Man's man.
I just want to start naming every male character in things we do that. Like, I just want every character to be like Steve McSteve. Like, just...
But yeah, she literally has sex with him one time, has a pregnancy scare, freaks out because she's like, I'm stuck with this man. Yeah. And then she breaks up with him, like, after sleeping with him once. He says, I love you to... He said, I love you to her, and she didn't say it back. Like, it's like...
Is that what every relationship turns out to be in these books? It's just like a pregnancy scare with a man that has been like foisted upon you?
None of them have sex that they enjoy.
You know what it reminds me of? Okay, so like I don't like olives, right? And I remember seeing
where are we going with this?
No, I'm leading with this because it's why the video sticks in my head so much. I saw this TikTok, and it was a guy who was doing a TikTok like series, right? Where it was like every day he was taking like a tiny piece, like eating a tiny piece of an olive. And it was like eating like a little bit more of an olive every day until I like learned to like olives, basically. That's what I feel like they're doing with these relationships, where it's like, I feel like it's that. And then by the time you eat an olive, these girls are like, I love olives. And I'm like, actually, I could learn to like stomach eating an olive if I had to, but I don't think I would love olives. I don't think you love the olive. I think you've just like worn down your gross aversion
conditioned your taste
to the olive. Yeah, you've conditioned yourself to deal with olives and to like suffer through an olive.
Yeah, these women are micro-dosing
Yes.
heterosexuality.
Don't
Yes.
let the olive knock you up is what we're saying, okay? That's all.
Brian McBrien.
Don't
100%
fuck the
is an
olive.
Oh, fucking olive. I mean, Tibby in the first book references a moon sign, like knows what a moon sign is. No straight woman knew what a moon sign was in 2001.
No.
That's just not what that culture wasn't there yet.
No.
Pre 9/11. I'm gonna keep talking about him. This book tore down the twin towers of patriarchy and xenophobia against Greeks.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/lezhangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lezhangout.
Let's hang out.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
That's what this book is.
That's it.
Put Santorini on the map, you know? No one had ever heard of it.
When you said you didn't like olives, I was like, okay, come for Lena then. Come for Lena.
I mean, listen, are we talking about Lena next? Because I have some thoughts on Lena.
We absolutely can. We absolutely can.
Okay, I swear, Lena to me is like the peak gay. Like, I think Tibby's coming out first. I think Bridget would sleep with the most girls. I think Lena might be the gayest.
Yep. Yes.
Of all of them.
I agree.
And the whole...
Why do you say that?
Okay, because the whole Costas storyline to me just, again, feels like more about trying to like apologize for making a mistake and like connect with her family and her culture, like way more than it has anything to do with Costas. I think she's like, I'm sorry your family died, I will kiss you now. But but I do think that Lena also has my favorite quote from the Spark Notes that I read.
Oh, God.
Because whatever chapter this happens in, I like copied and pasted it because I thought it was so great. This is in the Spark Notes description of it. And they go, in that chapter, Lena meets Costas and is disappointed by him as she is by every boy. And I just feel like to have that be at the level that it is to be included in the Spark Notes overview of what is clearly supposed to be a romantic storyline between two characters, I find hilarious. Like, that is just wild. And it's just like she's not comfortable around any of this. Like, her whole thing is she shows up and her grandmother's like, I invited a nice boy. And Lena's like every gay girl in that scenario where she's like, stop trying to set me up with boys, Grandma. Like, I don't want to date these boys, right?
Yes. Yep. Lena literally runs away from Costas every chance. She might as well at a certain point just go like, look over there, point, and then run in the other direction. Yes. She like is desperate to get away from him. And Lena, again, I think like a classic young baby gay figuring it out, like, is so uncomfortable in her body, uncomfortable with people's impression of her gender, right? Like, all the time people are telling her how pretty she is. And she's always like, she puts on loafers all the time, like used men's loafers. At a certain point when the family's having the party where she meets Costas, that like it's kind of intimated, her grandmother's like, can you put on something like fancier? Clearly it's like, can you put on a dress? And Lena goes upstairs and puts on a turtleneck. And she's like, it's my brown turtleneck that I love. And I'm like, oh, Lena.
Lena's me. Growing up.
Yeah, it reminds me.
It's my best turtleneck, Grandma. I'm trying.
It's like, this is hot, right? Like, this is hot and sexy.
Yeah. I put on my nice corduroys, Grandma. Like, that's not what you meant by dress up. They're my fanciest ones.
Right.
Oh God, this is why I like the Bridget and Lena pairing though, because I also feel like Bridget is like always making fun of Lena for how she dresses and like sort of just being like, Lena, I wish you'd show more skin. And I'm like, Bridget, of course you do. Like she's she really is.
Lena,
just try on a bikini. Like, I just want to see what it looks like on you. You know, like I can never see your body. It's so weird.
You can wear
like,
mine. Try mine on.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why you just cover up so much. Like, let's just try something new, you know?
Lena, you actually like shouldn't wear pants when you sleep. Like, you got to air things up.
Yeah. Didn't you know? Scientifically, this is what you should be doing. Yeah.
I mean, when they all first try on the pants,
it's a gayest scene. It's the gayest scene.
Hornier, the way they describe each other. Okay, I have had to write this quote down because I was like, this is actually insane. And I'm reading a rock now all of a sudden. Okay. I was like, is this a fan fiction version of this book? Oh, no, it's just the book. Okay. This is one of the excerpts. Tibby had narrow hips and long legs for her small frame. The pants fell below her waist, hugging her hips intimately. He revealed a white strip of flat stomach, a nice innie belly button. Baby!
That is a fan fiction. That is.
Also, who is describing this?
Right. It's a fucking Carmen. It's Carmen.
Oh my God.
It's in the first person of Carmen. I'm like, that's me designing my like wife in The Sims. You know, like that was me putting together
the perfect innie belly button.
Yeah.
Like if you're
what
lucky,
straight
you're
friend notices a belly button?
Exactly right. Exactly.
Okay, also, can we just discuss, even just in a general sense, the whole premise of saying like, oh my God, a pair of pants, like it looks good on you. Now you try them on, they look good on you. Oh my God, now you try them on. Has anyone seen those videos where it's like, you ever see the videos where like groups of friends will like take turns like showing each other their boobs or something, and they like show the reactions of the other girls? Have you seen these? These are legitimate. These are legitimate. Go on TikTok sometimes. I'll show you. I'll send you some.
Is that on TikTok?
Yes.
The kids are all
No,
right,
dude.
baby.
I wish I was joking. These are on fucking TikTok. Like you can find them. It'll just be like
You don't see the boobs. You just see the
you don't see the
faces.
boobs. You don't see the boobs. You see the reaction shots of the
reaction
other
to
girls.
the boobs.
Okay, to me that's even hotter to not see the boobs, but to just see the reaction.
You see the reaction, and I'll tell you what, sometimes you're watching these videos and I'm like, some of you are learning some things about yourself right now, right? Like you're a little too into this game. But also, who fucking suggested this game, right? Like that's what I'm saying. This is
Colette
the
putting
Colette
in the
on
dare
the dare.
balls.
Yeah. Colette's slip of paper is like, you know what would be so crazy is
Sort
like
of TikTok trend where we show each other our
we
boobs.
all show each other our boobs. Oh my God. But that's what this is.
Show me.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, you put the pants on. Oh my God, you put the pants. Let's see your ass in the pants. Turn around, give us a spin. And I'm like, this is fucking gay. Like, this is.
Did you write anything else down from the descriptions? Like, do we have other descriptions of the girls
Oh
from
God,
it?
yes, please.
I only wrote down Tibby's because the belly button thing was so specific that I was like, oh, this is a gay woman looking at this. Because the rest of the descriptions, right, like tell us about Bridget's like long legs, and it tells us that like Lena is so like model-esque, and you know, Carmen has a huge ass.
Love it.
But the fact that like they took the second to point out from the perspective of Carmen, Tibby's perfect belly button, I'm like, this is a scene in Carol. This is so romantic and erotic.
Yeah.
Too intimate.
And they all take off cargos to put the jeans on. Like the book goes out of their way to say that they're all peeling off a pair of cargos. I'm not even joking.
Also, they're changing in front of each other, correct? Like they're not like one goes in, one goes out, one comes out.
They're all ripping those. They're immediately before anyone even finishes the suggestion. Oh, we should all try on the pants. Already, all of them have their belts unbuckled. They're tearing.
Also, like, this isn't the first time they've tried on the same pair of pants. It's just the first time they all fit.
Yeah.
Also, this was like 2001. Again, this is peak, like low rise jeans.
Yeah.
Those things were all up in everywhere, right? I'm like, those are not try on your friend's pants right after they take them off kind of pants without it being an incredibly intimate experience that you're all partaking in, like gleefully. It's just a bit much.
If we can talk a little bit about the intimacy of the triangle, because you alluded to before, Lee, that there are rules to the pants, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's one rule that I really had an issue with.
Oh yeah. Please go there.
Which was not washing the pants.
The straightest of rules. The straightest
It's not
of
right.
rules.
It's not right.
Like, what kind of petri dish did these pants become? At one point, Lena's grandfather's blood is on the pants, and everyone is like, LOL, cute. Like, these pants have become nasty. Like
a hazard.
The primordial ooze in this pants. Because all of these girls are 15, right? So that's a moment where your every part of your body is just this crock pot.
Yeah.
And it's making stew. It's making stew round the clock.
Hormones are high.
And they are like No. I want to make sure everyone's essences are built into these pants.
From everyone.
Like I want to make sure I can smell these. When
Yes.
I'm like, Bridget did that last week. Let me see.
Yes.
What does that smell
Oh,
like?
no.
They want the residual heat from each other's bodies pressing against each other's legs. And listen, are these pants patient zero? In my opinion, yes. Because Bailey puts those pants on, gets an infection, and dies a week later.
Oh shit! The pants killed Bailey.
I do think the pants killed Bailey.
That's actually probably
They should
accurate.
wash the
Yeah.
pants. Well, but doesn't it just feel, you know how there's this trope of like, oh, like two girls who are clearly in love with each other, but they won't admit it, but they'll like hook up with the same guy or they'll like fight over the same guy. And you're like, I just want my mouth to be where your mouth has been. And so I'm also in love with this guy. That's why I'm kissing this guy. It's not because it's like kissing you by proxy. I'm just saying these pants, man, it's same idea. Same idea. This is scissoring via pants, right?
Yes, yes.
That's all that's happening. Let's be honest with ourselves.
And I'm pretty sure
the Sisterhood of the traveling pants is what I'm saying. Okay.
There we go.
We got there. They do say in the book, I'm pretty sure that's Tibby's rule. I'm pretty sure it's Tibby who's like, hey guys, cool, crazy thought. What if we never wash the pants?
Feels right.
What if we just let the pant fill with our mutts? I don't know, just a thought. It's like, Tibby.
It is disgusting. It's not
really
right.
And like
Bridget in her head is like, yeah, I share clothes with my soccer girlies all the time and we never wash anything. Like, yes.
Oh,
into it.
Bridget does not wear underwear, and you know that. You know, Bridget, it's labial folds to that.
She
denim.
is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After Bridget's done with them, like those smelliest they'll ever be.
Yes.
Like, girl is playing. She's playing soccer in them.
Yes,
like,
she tried to do soccer in them. And her coach was like, Bridget,
you can't wear them.
Bridget, you're so
Stop. Well, and the other rule that's sort of strange is you can't let anyone else take the pants off. But it's worded weirdly where it's like, only a sister can take the pants off.
It only stipulates boys can't take the pants off, but you or another sister can take the pant off.
Yes.
But only boys can take the pants off.
Listen. The fan fiction is writing itself right now, honestly. It's just
like, we're not, like sometimes, I'm sure y'all agree, like sometimes should have been gay. We're having fun. Maybe we're reaching a little bit. This one, it's
there. It's there.
Pressed and it's woven in like Bridget's vaginal essence in the denim.
It's woven into the pants.
It's woven into the text. We're not.
No, I mean, we have done.
We're not fighting for this.
What did we say? This is 115. Yeah, of course. There's been plenty of them where we're really stretching. You are correct. This one is. this one really does. It just tells itself.
It's the rule was you can't let a boy.
You can't not let a boy take off these pants.
But your sister? Well, of course.
That's fine.
Your sister.
Yeah.
That's your sister.
Yeah, she can do whatever she wants with the pants. It's literally one of 10 rules. However many rules they have.
Oh my god.
Oh, but little artist Lena. I mean, she really.
Oh yeah, sorry to go back to how gay Lena is. I feel like there's also like another part of Lena that's like, I don't know, like she sort of like she discovers things about herself throughout the books, and like there's some parts where she's like discovering her sexuality through Costa. How do you say it? Costas. And I feel like this is just more of a retelling that I would like. Where like she actually just meets a cute Greek girl and she discovers some shit about herself, because I like that part of Lena's storyline where it's like she becomes more comfortable with herself and she's like, oh, I am gonna be naked in this ocean and like I'm cool with it. And then it's like, but then there's like a girl there and she's like, oh, this is crazy, but I can be naked in front of you because you're a girl. And then she's like, oh wait, this is why I mean,
how much more poignant it would have been, right? Like I think and Spark Notes would love this, but like the metaphor for like shedding her clothes, being naked in this water, free and liberated, and then being seen by another woman, another girl, because it is like being seen as who she really is.
You said something before, Colette, about her feelings about her body and all of that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some gender things going on. I would love to see a version or like a retelling of this where Lena comes out as like non-binary down the line or something, right? Like, or just like super mask, like just something, because there's clearly some baggage there that is not being unpacked. I'm just saying I would love to see that explored a little bit more because the whole story, the whole like Costas thing doesn't vibe to me.
No.
It doesn't work.
The way she talks about her beauty is actually so fascinating. And like one of the most interesting parts of this book that I thought like I've never seen in like YA literature or even like teen movies, whatever, like the way it is not about her questioning her looks. Like at no point is she like, I'm ugly, actually. Like she's like, I am beautiful. And that makes me so uncomfortable. And I hate that is how people see me. That's what people know. Like I hate how they're perceiving me. And it's like, yeah, that is giving major gender stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a part. Okay. Another passage I wrote that I was like, Lena. Okay. She said, this is when she like first meets Costas. And she writes, she says she personally thought that the only reason most girls put up with boys at all was because they needed reassurance that they were pretty. That was one thing, maybe the only thing Lena knew about herself without reassurance. She said the only reason girls need boys is to reassure
tell them they're pretty.
That's the only thing she can perceive someone wanting from a man.
And also so funny
That
if she has Bridget telling her all the
incredible.
time. I'm just saying.
Yes!
Yeah, exactly. She's like, and I already know that. Bridget tells me I'm hot every
Bridget
day.
tells me
So
all
like,
the
I'm
time.
fine.
We need a
Yeah.
redo where she like when she goes to get Bridget in a soccer camp, right? When she goes to pick her up and she like unpacks the whole story of her summer with her and she's like, I don't know, I just felt so uncomfortable. Like this boy saw me skinny dipping and Bridget's like, you went skinny dipping? We should go skinny dipping like right now. And then they go skinny dipping together. And then she
Takes
teaches
her
her
out
how
of
to
her
kiss.
depression.
Anyways, what?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So
What?
You're so Lena Bridget, which I see. I do.
I am that. I didn't know going into tonight that I would be. I'll be honest.
I'm
feeling very strong feelings right now.
I like the opposites attract kind of vibe we got with the two of them, you know? Where it's like Bridget's so
exuberant and Lena being like very shy, artistic, Bridget being like physical. Ooh, okay. And that
you got a little pink there, a little color.
It's either this or the fact that I've been wearing this wig now for
you feel
an hour and a half.
Like never had this much heat on top of your head.
No, it's my body does not. It's that the headphones, things are getting trapped in here.
Listen, don't wash the wig. Don't ever wash the wig.
The rule is you can never.
No, we have touched on Carmen.
Okay, let's do it because we are already over an hour in, as should only have been expected from this episode.
Okay, I have pretty strong feelings about Carmen being gay, though.
Do it. Okay, hit us.
Because Carmen, her entire thread, like she narrates most of these books, right? And her whole thing is like she's scared of the sisterhood breaking apart, right? Yeah. Constantly, that's like her thing. Right, she barely has she has a few flings and stuff with men, but not really. They don't really give her a lot of relationship stuff, which is fine by me. Please don't. Yeah. She's all about her family trauma, which already gay, right? but she really is she clings on to these girls. She's you cannot leave me. You cannot stop being friends with me. It's just giving obsessed with your first love. Insanely. She cannot let go of them.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, Carmen is the only one at the end of what is the 5 version of trilogy? Quintology?
Yeah.
Great. At the end of the quintology, who ends up alone? Or not alone, right? Because she has her sisters, but she's the only one that does not end up in a romantic relationship. And the other romantic relationships are all these men that the women have been dragging along for 15 years. But Carmen is the only one who's actually, I'm good. And you're so right, Ellie. In the first book, I was are they trying to get us to ship her and her stepbrother? What is happening? I don't don't know why we come from an era like the 90s, 2000s, when there was a lot of like stepbrother, stepsister romance. Like people can pretend that is a construct of Pornhub, but that is the rom-com industrial complex.
That is
like
the Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
Clueless? Clueless.
Yeah, the Clueless. What I Like About You.
Yes. Like what is going
I
on?
can already name that's
it was
three
a lot.
off the top of my head already.
And I think that shows the failure of Compet, that at a certain point, people are like, I don't know what boys are around. How about
I guess my stepbrother.
Yeah, the son of your new dad. Like in the first book, Carmen has it's about her and her dad. And it's about and I mean, not to suggest who I'm rooting for here, but I will say there was a lot of emotional stuff between her and Tibby. Where she felt very betrayed by Tibby. She talks a lot about how she needed Tibby, what she was looking for from Tibby. I think
Tibby wasn't there for her. Exactly. She's like, you found a new friend. There's so much jealousy. Carmen has jealousy of every other person in her friends' lives. She's a very jealous lover.
Which being jealous of a dying 12-year-old, a little much, maybe. Maybe a little exaggerated response there.
Agreed.
For no reason.
But also I feel like she also is you're my girlfriend, you should agree with me.
Yes.
Right? Because
yes.
It's that whole analogy about it's not the nail or something. It's not about, you know what I mean? Don't take this nail out of my head. Just tell me. I forgot what the thing is, but you're talking to your...
What? No, sorry. Are you reading relationship advice from Frankenstein? What?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No,
just tell me all the surgical scars are beautiful.
Right. Don't put the fire in front of me. I'm scared.
Don't point out my piecemeal body of hodgepodge parts don't go together. Just tell me they're beautiful.
Don't pull the nail out of my head.
Just electrocute me and wake me up.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I can't properly articulate it, but it's the point where when you tell your partner something's wrong and then they're like, here, let me give you my opinion and let me fix it. And you're like, no.
Just listen to me vent.
I don't want to get this. Yes, there's a nail in my head and it hurts, but I want you to say, oh, I'm sorry, it hurts, not take it out of my head.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
But it's still crazy.
No, I love it. I love your spooky Halloween.
Yeah. I'm about to die, but I just want your sympathy.
I mean, I do feel bad for Carmen though, because, and maybe this is, and it's interesting because to your point, she is the only first person narrator we get in any of the books, which is I find interesting because this book follows the Babysitters Club principle, which is every character has one identity marker. In Babysitter's Club, it was bossy or diabetes. So in this one, they have a bit more dimension. So it's hot but Greek.
Yeah.
Or, hot but sporty. And Carmen's is divorced, but also huge ass.
Yeah.
And I just
Yes.
I don't know. I don't feel like you get a lot from Carmen in this.
I also,
or,
I think of all of the premises, Carmen's is the most bonkers because I'm sorry, but the idea that any man is going to pick up his teenage daughter at the airport for oh, you're staying with me for the summer, and then drive her to a house of a family that you've never mentioned to her. I'm even for a YA novel, that's a little much. That's a little
Far-fetched.
over the top, right? To have been it never came up in a phone call, nothing ever.
And you're getting married in 2 months? What? And then they were oh, we just made a bridesmaid dress for you, but we didn't have your...
You're
what are
surprise, you're a bridesmaid in my secret wedding to my new family. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Literally all of Carmen's problems could have never happened.
Yes.
If her father just told her that he was getting married.
Was a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, though, Carmen puts a lot of undue focus on her stepbrother's girlfriend. We don't, more than anyone, she puts a lot of attention on this random girl named Krista. And it's Carmen, why are you so obsessed with Krista?
She's I gotta latch on to some girl because all my other girls are not here.
Yeah. And she's I'm upset. I need a tether. I can't be mad at my dad, so I'm going to be mad at this beautiful teen girl.
Yeah.
who's always around.
Yeah, she's definitely projecting a little bit onto this person.
But I mean, I don't know. It's been a while, obviously, since I've read these books. And I was really touched by like Carmen's. I got a little emotional when like the scene when she like finally breaks. I mean, crazy that all of their therapists is once again a dying 12-year-old.
A terminally ill child. Yeah.
I don't know why getting leukemia all of a sudden made this girl like Esther Perel.
But was that okay? But because that was another thing of like books of this era, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the dying of cancer was a big thing. Is that just me? Like I feel like that was
A Walk to Remember.
Yes. Like that just
It was romantic.
Yeah.
It kind of. I mean, Walk to Remember. It's like there is a weird, I think, teen girl fantasy about like I'm wasting away, and yet like love will still find me in my final moment.
Well, and I will say, like, sad short straw to Bailey to basically be the person who's there to be the catalyst of like change and realization in all these other girls' lives, only to just like expire herself. Sad.
I mean, also
sad.
Bailey shouldn't have put on their sopping wet
So
pants,
true.
and maybe she would have been alive.
So
still.
true.
Like,
Yeah. They
Bailey,
killed her and took her advice. Like
they
were
like, you changed our lives, but also
the price is we take yours.
Okay, also, sorry, I have one other Bailey note while we're on it, because from what I read, she gets interviewed by Tibby for this documentary that she's making, right? And she asks her what she's most afraid of, and Bailey's answer is that she's afraid of not having time to like figure other people out or for them to figure her out. And I just feel like that is a really deep sentiment about, again, like self-realization and being seen by other people that like feels very gay for this book. Maybe that's just me.
I do feel like,
and I feel like
Bailey gives me like,
I feel like Bailey was desperately trying to get these girls like just pushed out of the closet and like died before she fully got there. That's all.
Okay, Lee. Now that Spark Notes themes and motifs is really jumping out because I never made that connection, but you're so right that like Bailey's whole message to Tibby is about like you judge people and like you determine like who people are by looking at them. But like the fact of the matter is like people can surprise
She's
you.
like, you look at your friends and you see 4 like straight girls. But maybe.
Or perhaps you look in the mirror and you see a straight girl. But there might be more beneath the surface.
Bailey's like the buried voice fighting back against the comp het in these books. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Bailey wasn't even real.
And also because
Bailey was a very gay mother
the Bailey Mimi, the guinea pigs at the guinea pig's name, right?
Oh,
okay.
Mimi.
So there's this whole thing, right, where Tibby's like, oh, like I'm too sad that Bailey's clearly dying, and so I'm just gonna like go pet my guinea pig, and then she like picks up this clearly dead guinea pig, and then is like, nope, not dealing with this, and like shoves Mimi's body in the freezer. And I just feel like there is something to be said for the role of denial in many a coming out story, and this is like a clear. Like,
wow.
I am shutting this in the freezer. I am not dealing with all of this, right? And I just feel like they draw this comparison between Mimi and Bailey, obviously with like the death, right?
The death.
But she's like, no, Bailey was like, see and be seen, like see what's really, like see the people around you and let them see who you really are. And she's like, I will shut this in a freezer, right?
Wow. And what is the freezer if not the closet of the fridge?
Yes.
You've always said that. You've always said that.
As it's commonly called.
Everyone
I'm always like, gotta open my fridge closet and out my ice cream. Damn. Okay. I need read the Spark Notes after this.
They're really great. They're great.
Okay, what you missed though, Lee, by not reading the actual book, and why I think you actually are like you were able to make like far more intelligent connections, whereas I was distracted by the fact that in the book, all of the chapter dividers are like a quote, like, and I imagine it's supposed to be, I think, like meaningful or like evocative, but some weirdo in the art department decided that superimposed behind each quote would be a graphic of the pair of the jeans. that's on the cover. So then you'll have like an ancient Chinese proverb. Literally, there's one that they just cite as like ancient Chinese proverb. I'm like, okay, Anne. But then it's written over a ghostly photo of a pair of pants. So it's almost like the pants are giving you the advice.
Amazing.
Because they're magic.
They are giving you the advice.
They're magic. All right.
It's what happens when you let the musk soak in is knowledge comes out.
The pants are becoming a new life form.
They are, sentient being. We need to get towards the end.
Okay, we need to ship some people. Can we ship some people?
We did a pretty good job. We did a really good job.
I mean, it's really
this is such a gay book.
I didn't know when I suggested it, and then when I started reading it, now that we're talking, I'm like, holy shit, this book is a gay
treasure trove. Yeah, it is like an instruction manual of like what happens when you fight against your gay instincts and you live this like pretty depressing, sad life. Yeah. All right, here we go. Which characters are we shipping? I mean, we've already sort of talked about it, but who's your top ship, Colette?
I know, I'm trying to make an argument. I mean, again, I entered this conversation and I was like very Lena Tibby, even though we don't get much interaction between them. But after listening to y'all, I'm like the Bridget Lena of it all. I mean, you saw, again, readers and our listeners, an audio format, so you didn't get to see, but things got hot. Things started making me blush thinking about Lena running to Bridget's side to help her. I mean, it's very compelling. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to do Lena, Bridget, and then Carmen Tibby.
I think that's fair.
What are your ship names? I mean, I think those are the most accurate pairings, I think.
Right, because
the Carmen Tibby is like, especially in the first book, is like they have the most interaction. I feel like they have a lot of interaction in the rest of the books.
Well, and there's also a lot of shared narrative there, right? Like I think Carmen has weird stuff with her. I mean, I guess they all have weird stuff with their family. Parents are bad in these books.
I feel like Lena has the least, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have Boppy.
Yeah.
Which we also, okay, I'm sorry. I know we're trying to wrap up. But I just really struggled with the fact. Like, to me, this book is a fairy tale because of how operational the Postal Service was throughout the entire book.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how does Lena not know enough Greek to talk to her grandfather, but she can navigate the ins and outs of a Greek village's post office? Those pants would have gotten lost on a freighter. Yeah. But anyway. Mm-hmm.
They only get lost. They get lost in the final book or the fourth book, right?
I know, because of Lena's youngest sister, Effie. Yeah. Effie takes the pants and runs.
I know. Effie also, I feel like in the books, she like has a lot of shit with her. I actually really liked her character, but we don't have time for that.
The only straight girl in the book. I believe like Effie is the straightest girl. But I will, and what we didn't touch on is that Tibby in a book later in the series is there when Carmen's mom gives birth. Mm-hmm. Like Carmen's not there. Yeah, Carmen's mom gets in a new relationship with a nice man named David McDavid. But Carmen's not there because she like goes to find David McDavid. So Tibby is there to like
this
birth.
Is my new favorite naming scheme.
Carmen's like, here, girlfriend, please help my mom.
Yeah, truly, it's like, oh, I can trust you are my wife. You're my fiance wife.
Yeah.
So
okay, so Carmen,
so what are their ship
Carmen
names?
Tibby. What's our ship name?
Lena. Oh,
Carby.
I'm like, can we just change it to Titty? But that doesn't make sense.
Makes no sense, but I'll take
Tibby.
it. There's no T's in Carmen.
Yeah, Carby.
There's something. They're in the tar. Getting lost, pulling each other down into the muck of those jeans.
Tarby.
Tibman.
Tarmy. What are we doing? Tarby.
I don't know. I like
Bailey. Their ship name is just Bailey.
Ship name is Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey is the ship name of all of them.
Yes.
Poor Bailey, man.
Bailey is the glue.
What about Lena and Bridget? Legit.
I hate
Legit sucks.
It's not
Bina.
It's Bina. Bina or Brina? Maybe Brina with an R.
Brina. Beautiful.
Yeah. It's very pretty. Just like the two of them together.
Yes. They can
skinny dipping
together.
in Mexico. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think the real takeaway, Ellie, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Should have been gay.
Should have been gay.
Yeah.
Literally so
We
gay.
did it.
All right, you ready? All right, but we're going to go to our Q and gay. Here we go.
Q and gay.
Who is the gayest in the Sisterhood? A, Lena, B, Tibby, C, Carmen, or D, Bridget?
Lena.
You know, it's funny. When I wrote the question, I put Bridget last because that was my hunch of where we were leaning. But I think you're right. I think it's Lena.
I mean, I'm torn. It's really, you really said it the best, Lee, which is that Tibby would come out first, but Lena, I think, has a long journey ahead of them.
I love
let's say.
that. I love that. Okay, question 2. Where would you want to spend the summer? Out of A, Greece, B, Mexico, C, South Carolina, or D, Maryland?
Oh my God, incredible. Imagine if I said Maryland, just to be so cuckoo crazy. I mean, I think Mexico, but only to go to soccer camp. Like, I grew up as a person who I've never been to a camp, like a sleepaway camp. And this book just confirmed what I already believed to be true, which is that like camps are meant just to get fucked. Right? Like, or like, that's where like it's like every time kids
But
come
only-
back from summer camp, they would debut new sex moves that I'd never heard of. Like, I think that's where everything gets invented, right? Like fingering came
from summer camp.
69 came from a summer camp. Like, that's where each year, like, that's fashion week for sex.
And you missed it.
And I missed it, and I don't know anything.
You'll have to start a dare bowl and be like, teach each other sex moves.
Yeah. Tell me what you learned at camp.
What can you do with nipples? Question mark?
Yeah. Never heard of them. All right. Question number 3. What was your favorite of the books? A, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. B, Second Summer. C, Girls in Pants. Or D, Forever in Blue.
Sorry, is the third book called
Girls in Pants?
That, I don't know what happens in one, but that was my favorite. That was like, man, what happened?
Girls in extremely wet, musky pants.
Yeah. The third book should have been called Pants McPants.
We've broken me now.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Okay. I have to collect myself to ask this question. Question 4. How do you roll? A, t-shirt bra. B, regular underwire. C, bralette. Or D, no bra.
Oh my God. Okay, I love these real-time questions being developed. As I've already discussed, my bra is essentially an aqueduct. It is a marvel of engineering. Like, it's underwire, it's overwire, it's sidewire, it's all the wire.
Custom made.
Yeah.
But when we do the Sisterhood of the Traveling No Bra, that's where I'm going to discover my true
Okay,
self.
amazing.
I love that it's the Traveling No Bra.
It's just an empty box.
It's literally what you
Empty
sent.
box.
What do you
Nothing.
send?
Nothing.
You still have to send the letter, though.
Yeah.
Here's what I did with no bra this week. All right, question number 5. What was your hobby in high school? A, film, B, painting, C, writing, or D, sports?
Love. Okay. And mortifyingly, I guess my hobby was writing. My college essay was about this. Why am I saying this? My college essay.
It's not
was
too late
about
to turn
how-
back.
Yes, it is. It's too late. You have to tell the story.
It's fine. I feel like everything I've already told y'all in this podcast and the last one has made me so undateable. But once they see me in this wig, this Bridget wig,
It just
changed
changed the
in
factor
full
again.
180.
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna be like, holy shit. My college essay was about how my first love was words. Think
Wow.
about that. How does that work?
Wow.
I don't know. Gee, it's because I didn't go to summer camp. I didn't know what you
It
could
all
do.
stems from not being able to go to summer camp. Your entire life has been impacted by not going to summer
And
camp.
that's why I got this wig and this mesh shirt, and I'm going to soccer
That's
camp.
the college's missions counselors were just like, this poor virgin has never been to summer camp. And we gotta help her out because what is college but an extended summer camp?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, she's gotta
Gotta let her
She
in.
needs to get here ASAP. Incredible. Well, what a ride. What a ride.
As always.
Listen, I can't tell you, Colette, how many people we had after the last episode ask to have you back on. So I hope this is what everyone was hoping for. Exceeded our wildest
And more.
dreams.
And more. So much fun.
I'll
Hilarious.
see y'all next week. When we do pants,
Yeah, girls in pants.
Oh my God.
Girls Gone Wild.
And we will be recording the podcast only in pants.
And no bras.
You
No
all will be
bras
able
next
to see.
time, okay? We're going to be hanging loose.
We love a visual gag.
Tell
Incredible.
our listeners where they can find you on all of the things so that they can, follow along on our sisterhood journey.
Well, y'all, if you want to see me in pants and so many bras, just the most advanced placement bra, follow me along, follow my journey across this great United States where I'll be traveling on. What am I saying? But follow me on Instagram at Young YUNG Baba BABA Yaga YAGA, and you'll just come see what shows I have cooking up. I don't know. Maybe I won't wear a bra just for you.
Hot stuff.
If you use discount code, I'll take my bra off.
Is that just they yell
Can
it
you
from the
imagine?
crowd? Is that
Yeah, scream it at me.
Great.
Incredible. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Thanks for having me back, y'all. Always
What a blast.
Oh, God. I love it. I'm dying.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from you and building community, so we want to shout out some of our favorite people each episode, and we would like to shout out all of our patrons, especially our Lesbian Jesus patrons, starting with Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Fiona W.,
and Sophia Phillips.
and our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
And Andrea Doucette, thank you so much for supporting the podcast. We could not continue to make it without you.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com.
And you can check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use for podcasts, make sure you subscribe to be the first to know when new episodes drop.
We also have videos going up on our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe at youtube.com/letshangoutpod to catch those.
Let's Hang Out is an independently produced show hosted by us with audio production by me. Our production assistant is Krista Murison, and Twitter shenanigans by Lee Holmes Foster.
If you want to help support the podcast, the first thing you can do is leave us a rating and a review on whatever app you use to listen to podcasts. It helps new people find the show.
If you want to support us and join our Patreon family, you can join at bit.ly/lespatreon. Our patrons are what keep this show running, and we have all kinds of cool perks for you, like extra bonus episodes, patron-only watch parties, and our Discord chat.
And finally, if you want to pick up some Les Hangout merch, we have all of our designs up in our TeePublic store. You can find them at bit.ly/lesshop.
And remember, we have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings that you can find everywhere at $dollarbeanproud.
You can also check out our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can listen to all the episodes of our first show, The Flame, on any podcasting app.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can follow me at Ellie Brigida on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee.
And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast, and with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.